What is good, guys, man? Thank you for tuning back into the channel, man. If you're new, make sure you hit that sub button down below to be notified for every single video that I do drop, man. And how you know you're notified is once you hit the subscribe button, you'll hit that bell afterwards and you'll press all. That's how you know you're notified and subscribed to the channel completely, man. Man, this is like 4:27 a.m. before I go into work, man, grinding for y'all. And as y'all can see by the title, man, whatever the title is, I don't know what the title is yet, but it's a paranormal story with her kids. This is part one. We got 2 parts to it. So after this video is played, I'm gonna click on part 2 for y'all to see, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. See what this is about.
Okay, so I don't know if we still doing like the spooky TikToks or whatever, but I have like 2 stories about both my children that that just came back to me that I cannot shake. So I'm gonna start with my daughters first. My daughter's 10 now. She had to be about 4 or 5 when this happened. We were living in these apartments that I had not recently, but previously lived in as a child, way back when. One morning, my baby wakes me up telling me that the doggy in her room is talking to her. And I'm like, you must have been dreaming. Go back to bed. This child looks me right in my face and tell me, no, it said, hey. And that's one thing to know about my daughter is she's always been like very sure of herself, especially when speaking to you about what she's saying, what she's trying to communicate to you, always. So at which point I'm like, okay. I go ahead, I get up and I go to her room and I point the doggy out. And sure enough, it's on her bed. I'm like, this one? She's like, yeah, it's talking to me. I said, okay, say less. I get the dog, I go take it to the porch. Because I've watched enough scary movies for my little scary behind to know that you don't question these children when they telling you something that's going on in their room. Because entities, you know, they target children a lot of the times. So, I mean, it was a bummer just because it was like a gift from my grandmother. It was a beautiful stuffed black and brown dog. I mean, a nice little size, beautiful. And it was a gift from my grandmother. Like, I probably would have never gotten rid of it if, you know, my baby hadn't said that. So, fast forward a few hours, my son's dad wakes up and I'm like, hey, that dog that's on the porch, I need you to take it to the dumpster. He looks at me. He was like, well, what's up? I say, Bailey, say it's talking to her. Get it out of here. He say less. He takes it to the dumpster. But that was just like one of the experiences that I had in that apartment with one of my children. Now, I'm gonna say that my family is pretty sensitive to these type of issues. So like I don't play around with it. My baby says she's seeing something or she's hearing something, like I'm not gonna tell her she's crazy and that it's not happening. I do try to calm her down just because I don't want her scared, and also I'm terrified. But I gotta be a strong one. Like, fix. Okay, part 2, the story about my son. And this is like, it takes the cake because my baby was a baby, like a baby. And even looking back, I feel like I'm crazy. I was crazy. I couldn't tell nobody about this because they would just say that I'm crazy. I was going through postpartum. Like, it was bad. So one day, my son is like probably 4 to 5 months. I leave him sleeping in my big king size bed. Now, it was one of these old school king size bed. Like, you know how they used to make furniture big and sturdy? Like, it was a bed that my mama hadn't had for 20 plus years already. I took it because, you know, it was a big, nice bed. And a bed that I had to like, kind of like, to get into. I'm 5'7", not a small girl. So, I said all that to say, that's how big that bed was. Getting out of it would not be an easy feat for a 4 or 5 month old. I'm in the kitchen washing dishes and I hear something. Now, mind you, we're still in the same little apartment. It's not big at all. So I still shouldn't really hear him from the bedroom unless he's crying or whatever. But I'm washing dishes, water running, but I hear something. And like a minute or so go by and there's something say, go check on your baby. So I turns off the water. I go to the room. My baby is not in the bed. I immediately freak out. Like, did he roll off the bed and roll under the bed? But he would have cried because these are some little, like, low income apartments. The floors are like concrete. If my baby had hit that floor, he would have been screaming his head off or unconscious. So my baby's not in the bed. He's not under the bed. He's not at the foot of the bed. Like, I'm freaking out. I'm running all over this apartment, which is not big, looking for my 4 to 5 month baby. Not crawling, not walking, barely sitting up. I can't find my baby. I done went back to the kitchen, from the kitchen all the way back to the back of the house, looking for my baby. So it's my room, my daughter's room, closets, the bathrooms. Walked into my daughter's room, looked all around, looked under her bed, looked in her closet, looked behind the door. Can't find my baby. So I go back to the kitchen like I'm losing my effing mind. I'm almost in tears because my baby was in this house with me. I know my child was in this house with me. Where's my baby? Where's my baby? It's like a Lifetime movie going on in my head. Where's my baby? I back to my room, looking all through the covers, under the bed again. And I'm just standing like, go back to the living room, standing in a circle, like just turn around in circles. And I hear like a little noise coming from my daughter's room. Walk into that room, I still don't see my baby. But as I turn around to walk back out her room, he's sitting behind me at the door. Like, not actually. So not even in the doorway, but like slightly behind the door. But mind you, when I went in my daughter's room the first time, I looked behind the door. I looked all over the place. The baby just sitting behind me. Just looking at me, sitting up, looking at me. I pick him up and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm still like in tears and I'm crying. And I'm like, I know I'm not crazy because I came in here and I looked for my baby. What just happened? What happened? What was trying to take my baby? Where did it take my baby? Because he was not completely gone. And you can ask my mama, like, I called my mama bawling because I felt like I was losing my mind. Postpartum was kicking my butt. I'm not going to lie about that. But not so much to where, like, I just wouldn't see my... To this day, I cannot explain that feeling. I can't explain what could have happened because he was not crawling yet. He was just sitting up. What happened? Baby, I don't miss those apartments at all. And I do feel like both of my children are like slightly gifted in one way or another. Like, they might be growing out of something. Like, my daughter's 10 now, and she probably just keeps a lot of things to herself because she said some things. I'm just like, are you playing? If you're playing, you should be playing like that. But you know. But yeah, that story with my son. And like, I couldn't call nobody but my mama. And my mama was still just like, girl, you okay? You okay? Because I'm crying, like crying. I couldn't call his daddy because his daddy was already on like some get it together, I'm leaving type. Which that should have been the red flag right there, just for you to just go ahead and go. Because if your mother of your child is struggling with postpartum and you know she's already sad or whatever, you don't tell me. But that's a whole nother story. Anywho, I felt like I was losing my mind because somebody or something in that house was playing with my child. Had them took him out the bed, and I don't know what the... I cannot. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments. But don't be like I'm crazy, because I'm not crazy, because I know what I experienced that day. And to this day, I make sure I keep like my kids really, really close to me. If you're uncomfortable, if I'm uncomfortable, and it feels like something spooky's going on, like, hey, y'all, come lay with me. Like, you know.
I like her because she got some common sense, man. The last video we watched of the lady that said that her child seen something, she was not speaking like this lady right here. You know, I would definitely allow my child to sleep with me in the bed. Make sure I pray over my house, pray over my child. Before I even move into a new place, I want to anoint that house with the Lord's Prayer. Anoint oil all on the walls, man. You know what I'm saying? Just stay prayed up, man. And if she ever watches this video right here, man, we don't think you crazy at all. We know that stuff is real, man. Y'all comment down below exactly what y'all think about this video and her testimony and whatnot. And if y'all could, y'all can reach out to her on her TikTok, as you can see it on the channel. Unforgettable Q88. Go reach out to her, shout her out, tell her Shawn 2Inspire React sent you. And oh yeah, guys, man, make sure y'all go follow the Instagram, man. It's Shawn91_, man. I'm getting ready to drop these reactions on TikTok. I'm getting ready to drop some stuff on Instagram, and also just other content. I'm just thinking of ideas that I can do, you know what I'm saying, that everybody would like to watch, man. If y'all have any ideas and suggestions, comment down below. At the end of my videos, I'll say stay inspired, stay motivated, stay grounded. Until next video, I'm out of here. Peace.